This video is in response to a question as to whether the Black & Decker Workmate 425 can be hung on the wall. And the answer is yes, but I'm going to put some caveats on there. I think the first thing we need to keep in mind is safety, so I want to look at a few things. The Black & Decker 425 is a black frame. I'm going to use my 425 Type 3 instead of my Type 6 because it does have a silver frame. It's easier to show things. So the first thing I want to do is talk about safety. If you can see that little latch there, so I've collapsed this bench, but that latch isn't in the right slot. It isn't in the right place, and if you don't have that in there, you could hang it on the wall and the bench could expand out on you accidentally. You certainly don't want to do that. So here's what one looks like when it's totally in place. So make certain that you collapse your bench and you check both sides, because I thought I had this clicked in and I really didn't. So make sure you've got both sides clipped into place before you attempt to do any hanging with your bench. So thinking about how you might want to hang this, this is the Workmate 425 Type 3, so the frame is identical. Okay. So the first thing you might think of is using the dog holes and hanging it by one of the panels on the bench. The only problem I have with that is that's hanging on there by plastic. Okay? And the same thing with this in here. Should it be strong enough? Probably so, but would I want to take a chance with it? No, I don't think so. So if you wanted to hang it with the panels towards the wall, you could try that, but I'm more inclined to think you should find some way of hooking through this cross member right here. Okay? But if you do that from this angle, you got to remember that's extending out several inches from the wall. If you decide that you want to place the feet or the frame towards the wall, then if you want to hang by this member, it's going to be out at least 8 inches, so you're going to need some kind of L-shaped bracket or something like that to hold it. Now, why am I starting at the top? Because the center of gravity is rather high on this bench. So, if you come down and try to hang it from this cross member right here, this top one, then what happens is this whole assembly up here tends to lean back towards you. So if you're going to hang it this way, you need to be aware that that can tilt back, and again, you need to make sure that lever's done. Now, you could also flip it upside down and hang it from that cross member there, and that would probably be the easiest way. The only thing I don't like about that is that puts these handles towards the ground, so you're going to have to grasp your bench very carefully to make sure that you don't end up setting it down on your handles on either side and snapping those guys off, because they are plastic. There's also another consideration here, and that is if you're going to hang this on the wall, you need to make sure that if you're going into sheetrock with studs, that you put whatever you're hanging it on, you tie it into the studs in the wall. And that should be about 18 inches on standard, depending on the wall that you have. The difficulty that you have there is the width of this member here from one side to the other is exactly 18 inches. So you're going to have to put some kind of cleat or 2x4 between two studs and then hang your Workmate to that. I elected not to hang my Workmate. I stand it up on edge like this. I mean, obviously I put some of my stuff on the wall, but if any of those fall down on me, they're going to end up with a bruise, maybe a small fracture, but nothing heavy, nothing difficult. But if a Workmate 425, which weighs about 30 pounds, comes down on you, you got a trip to the emergency room. So I elected not to hang mine on the wall, but do what you think's best. So if you like this video, please press like. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. So I hope this helped you out, and good luck on your projects.